Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So we're back in the Lanayru Desert for the second time, and we are looking for a place that we have not been to before. So if we check our map, we can notice this little path over here. It's got a question mark at the end. I think I briefly mentioned this before, but this is actually where we want to go. It's somewhere we haven't been yet. We can pretty much reach it by just following this path, taking the minecart little shortcut we made before, which is why it's important to make those, even if you don't think you're going to be using them. And that should lead us to the path, so it's pretty straightforward, not too hard to find from here. We, of course, do have one of these big, giant red guys, so it's not too bad, though, because we can pretty much just make our way right around them. It doesn't matter too much. Then once we drop off, you can see this is an area that we created a shortcut to before, so we are actually going to use it this time. And as we hop along these platforms, you can see there are, of course, claw shot targets along the way. We're going to skip the one on the wall. I don't know why they give you that one. Just go straight up to this one. And you can see this is a doorway that we have not yet been to, so we're finally going to get to see some more unexplored territory of the desert. Sounds cool. So these are the Lanayru caves, and we're going to get just a slight introduction to this guy over here. Hey, it's another Goron. That's kind of neat. And of course, this circle of bombs. I'm not sure why there are all these bomb flowers in a circle, but I'm pretty sure... Yeah, there is a gossip stone here, in case you want one of those. So we can see what material it's going to give me. Oh, another evil crystal, while they're just popping up left and right, it seems. Alright, so there's a locked door up there. Of course, we have no keys, so we can't really do anything with that. We can check this chest, though. And we get a monster horn. And I think after this closes out, Fi is going to explain to us, we can actually use the whip that we got. Some bokoblins carry monster horns on their waist. If we latch onto it, pull it with our whip, we can actually steal it from them, so... I guess if for some reason you want a lot of monster horns, you can look out for that, but I usually don't worry about it. So we can check this guy out. And yeah, I imagine you almost never get visitors. It's really hard to get here, actually. So this guy's looking into the Legend of the Three Dragons. At first glance, doesn't seem like there's anything here, but he's just going to keep looking. And he thinks Link is not the easiest name to say. I mean, it's one syllable, so I don't know what's so hard about it. Alright, so yeah, we're telling him about the Sacred Flame. Sweet Goro, I remember now. And of course he remembers it from ancient scrolls that spoke of the Lanayru Sand Sea. So if we just go straight through here, and he's going to point out the way we need to go, of course, the locked door. And thankfully, he's just going to give us the key. I guess this is just their way of making sure that we talk to that guy. I don't know. But either way, we now have the key, so we can open that up. He says good luck, but before we leave, let's go ahead and just take a rest, chat with him a bit more. And by sitting here, he's going to say something a little bit different. He's going to mention these research digs can get expensive, but they can also be lucrative. So he's going to ask if we can invest 10 rupees. I mean, 10 rupees we could just, like, lose and not even notice. So yeah, sure. And of course, you know how these games work. Anytime they give you an opportunity to invest in something, invest as much as you can. 10 rupees is the most you can do. If you sit down, he won't ask for any more, but I might as well go ahead and do that. Okay, so now that we have the key and we've been kind of instructed where to go, this Lanayru Sand Sea sounds interesting. If it really is a sea of sand, I'm not sure how we're going to get past it, unless we have another, like, invisible Poe leading the way or something. So since we're entering a new area, Fi's going to give us a little sweeping introduction. And this is the Sand Sea. It was once a vast ocean. And of course the water's all evaporated, as it has with the rest of the region now. It's just a giant sea of sand. Check that out. And we also get new music here for this section of the desert, which is pretty neat actually. I really like the atmosphere that the music gives to it. And of course this place used to be a port. So we get the next section of the desert added to our map, the Sand Sea. Cool. So she's explained how the water evaporated and somehow turned into sand, but I would really like her to explain why there's these bottomless pits here. Oh, good, I would recommend exploring the Sand Sea. Again, thank you so much. I'd really like to know how these bottomless pits got here, though. I mean, there has to be something down there, right? Do you have any insight on that? I'd really like to know. But we're going to, of course, use our newfound claw shots. We're using them left and right here. But I definitely can't complain because they're pretty cool. So obviously just latch onto whatever target you can see. This one's down here. It's a little bit sneaky. Then we can drop off at the end. And, of course, one more will get us across. Nice. There we go. Okay, so this is kind of the pier to what used to be the giant sea. I want to get this. There we go. Nice. I was afraid I was going to walk on it, actually, and destroy it. But yeah, okay, so show us the tumbleweed. There we go. So yes, as I was saying, this is used to be a pretty, it looks like a pretty busy port, actually. There's all kinds of little different alcoves and places you can go and stuff. So it used to be a giant ocean here. It would have been pretty cool to see, actually, but unfortunately that's not possible now that this area has been dead for like 1,000 years. So before we start investigating the Sand Sea itself too much, we want to head over here and we can climb up these boxes. There's a nicely hidden little claw shot target over here. And we can latch onto it, drop down on the other side. This is the only way, of course, to get into this area. It's blocked off by boxes everywhere else. So we can head into this little cave area, and now we're going to get swarmed with these things. So this is a good chance to go crazy. I like to just use a bunch of horizontal swings. And, so you're really in more jelly blobs. Like I said, we're going to get a lot of opportunities for those. But you're really in, like, no danger here or anything. Even if they pretty much all latch onto you, you can just shake them off without taking damage. So I guess it's just more of an annoyance thing, but whatever. Alright, so thankfully there's that convenient little hole for the goddess cube. That's nice. But we can now walk out. We're done in here. Oh no, that's not actually going to get us anywhere. We actually can just climb up. I was trying to be a little too fancy, I guess. Okay, nothing else really to explore in most of these other alcoves. I think they're pretty much all blocked off with boxes anyway. I also want to get this. There we go. I wanted to get up to 3 tumbleweeds. That's the third one. Because you can actually upgrade the bug net using those. And of course, don't pass up the bird statue. This is one that we could drop down at later if we so like. And as we head out to the end, you can see we've got, looks like a, oh, this is kind of awesome. I love this guy. He's so cool. Let's check him out in his full state of glory here. Let's go ahead and hit that time shift stone. That'll bring him back. Oh man, it's a little robot pirate captain. That's like the best thing. This alone is like one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite places. I love this guy. I kind of like this, I don't know, I guess this race of like robots or whatever. I kind of like them in general. I don't know, they're just fun to talk to and look at. He's even got like a mustache and everything. Look at that, that's so cool. Nice little rose in the hat there. So yeah, I'm digging it. It's pretty neat. Alright, so he's the proud skipper of the ship that protects the Nayru's flame. Oh, interested in the flame, definitely. It can't be on that ship, can it? So he's going to tell us his story. It was the day of the storm. My crew and I were navigating the seas. Those brutes, the pirates, attacked us. So his crew was in prison. He was thrown into the sea, which you think would do more damage to a robot, especially since later I think he mentions this is salt water. So, you know, I'm pretty sure he'd like short out or rust or something. I guess he eventually did, but oh well. So it haunts him, wondering where his ship could be. So they've turned the ship invisible and are hiding out somewhere. So he's the robot pirate captain of an invisible ship. That's like awesome. Yeah, let's get more about that. How does it turn invisible? So in order to protect the flame, it has a function that allows it to become invisible. So yeah, we're searching for it. Okay. Well, I guess we seem to have mutual desires here. Sure, yeah, I'll help. And there's something weird about the map. If we're gonna navigate these waters, we need a sea chart. Oh no. If I have to, like, go feed a talking fish to get this sea chart, then I'm just gonna... I'm gonna say they're phoning it in here. Alright, let's go. So he's going to direct us along our path here once we get on the boat. And yes, we are actually going to get to steer it around. It's not all cutscenes or anything, so it's kind of cool. So there's the vast sand sea. Yeah, see, it says in the salt air, which means this has to be salt water, right? So I don't know. It's a pretty resilient robot, if you ask me. And we also have a cannon, which we're not going to be using, but we have it at least. Alright, so there's a pier on the island where his house is, and that's where we're going to find the sea chart. So let's go. Yep, and we are now in control of the boat. Awesome. Even though he's in... I'm not entirely sure what Link is doing to steer this. He's just kind of standing there, but whatever. So we can run around, of course, using the control stick, and if we hold A, we get to speed up. And its stamina meter is twice as long as Link's, so that's pretty nice. You can go for a pretty long time. See, it can go for quite a while. You also have a cannon, like I said. We'll probably never be using it, though. We can aim around. It's pretty easy to aim, actually. It's a lot more intuitive than you think, and it can it can move around pretty quick. But you can just aim wherever you want. Press A to fire. There you go. Can we really fire it that far? Wow. And hit the sand. That's kind of neat. All right, but like I said, you'll really never use the cannon, though. I find it's much easier to just speed past everything. And it is also kind of cool how all the sand turns to water just around the boat. It's a pretty interesting way to get around. I'd like to get kind of a bird's eye view of that, you know. I bet it'd be cool to see. Okay, so this is the Skipper's Retreat. This area of Lanayru Desert is kind of split up into a bunch of like little like side places, I guess. I don't really know how else to describe it. But there's just a lot of these little places that you end up visiting, so it's kind of cool. Of course, there is a sort of a dungeon at the end, but it's pretty neat as well. We'll get to that when we get to it. But for now, the sea chart we need is in his shack, so we'll have to go get it. And of course, he's kind of chained to his boat. Kind of a lonely existence, if you ask me. I mean, you can't go more than like 20 feet away from your boat, but oh well, I guess he gets by. Okay, so here we are. This is the first area. You can see we're probably going to be using the claw shot a lot. You can pretty much already tell. So let's go ahead and use the bird statue here. I don't think we'll ever be using this one, but well, might as well. And I think they give you, yeah, they give you some recovery just in case you need it. Alright, so there's not much we can do with this. It looks like there's kind of a zip line heading down. You can see it actually leads up to the top. So if we want to get up there, that's a pretty quick way to get back down. Nothing we can do with it from down here, so we're going to have to climb up the long way. Let's take this thing out with the Skyward Strike. Since our sword's been powered up, we can just do one and take it out instead of needing two like I did before. So again, take this one out. And of course, this begins our use of the claw shots. We got to get up to this ledge up here. And let's go ahead and take these out. And this is something new that I'm surprised you don't really get an introduction to it, but I guess you're just kind of supposed to know. This is, of course, the P-Hat. We've seen these guys in a whole bunch of Zelda games. And like before, we can use our claw shots and use them as kind of stepping stones to get to the next place. Pretty neat. We can get our bombs ready. I think there's going to be a chew here. Yeah. There we are. Let's set another one here to blow this path up. And again, I kind of just have to comment on the music since I got to actually hear it for a while we were being a little quiet. It really, like I said, just sets the atmosphere so well, you know, and you don't really think about it that much, but when you do actually get to hear it, it's pretty neat. Alright, so yeah, you can see there's a bunch of those little yellow chews here in this cave. If you just run forward, those things surround you. It can actually take off like multiple hearts if you're not quick about shaking them off, because they do like to electrocute you a lot. So, gotta hit the P-Hat. There we go. So I like to just, you have to basically know it's coming, and then I like to just back off and use a bomb, and that basically takes them all out. Alright, so let's, oh man, I thought that was right on it. So let's just climb up a bit more here. Alright, cool. And I think there's just like ants in these. Yeah, there's some Lanayru ants if you'd like those. And some more there. So quite a few. You could get like 5 there if you were good enough. Okay, now we have this guy who's been actually slightly upgraded since the last time we saw him. You can see he now has a stronger metal shield, which means no cutting it. He's gonna just charge it right at you. The thing with this guy, though, I mean, you can take him if you want, but I like to just do this. you can just run over his shield, which is pretty cool. And he won't follow you this far in, so. Alright, we can also open this little chest and get some rupees. Might as well. Alright, now we have a couple different paths here. One, we have this zip line we could take if we wanted to go back to the beginning for whatever reason. Yeah, see, there's kind of the bird's eye view I was talking about before. To see that little circle of water going all over the place, that'd be pretty cool. But there is, of course, a goddess cube out there, so the claw shots are again in order. And we can also latch onto these vines over here and then climb our way around. Then latch onto these. And that'll get us access to the cube. Alright, sweet. So now we can make our way back. Thankfully, there's a little target there on the other ledge. Otherwise, we would just kind of be stranded here, you know? That wouldn't be good. So, whoever put that there, thank you. You kept Link from starving to death up on that platform. Alright, you can also notice there are quite a few of those Phoenix things flying around, so just watch out for those when you get close to them. I think one of them's going to bug us here. So once we get over to this platform, we'll have to take care of it. And again, using the whip is pretty much the only way to go here. Unfortunately, claw shots don't do anything, so we still just have to take them out this way. But they're pretty easy. Just make sure not to get them too close to the ledge, so wow. Like that. If you get them too close to the ledge and do a finishing blow, you could actually backflip off of the ledge, and that would be bad. So we can also use the whip on that plant there, and it'll cause a pea hat to come out of the ground. And we can, of course, use the claw shot on him. We're going to have to wait for him to get a little bit closer before we can reach this platform, though. And there we are. Alright, so we're progressing pretty nicely along here. Nothing too challenging yet. And yeah, here it looks like there's not really too much you can do, but of course, anytime you get stuck on a platform, you use the claw shots. However, be careful with this one. It's a little bit sneaky of them. You can see there's actually a Deku Baba hanging right over top of that. So if you were to go without taking care of that first, you would pretty much get knocked off and have to do it all over again. So we can use the hook beetle and just kind of cut him off at the stem there. And now we can make our way across safely. And it drops rupees, like there's any way you would be able to get them. I don't even know why that drops anything. Okay, now this one can get a bit annoying. We actually have 2 Phoenixes, which is more than we've ever fought at once before. You pretty much just have to take them one at a time. And the other one will generally get its attack off. Yeah, see, like, depending on where it is, it's pretty much going to hit you regardless, so that's a little annoying. But it's not too bad. I mean, it's just like 1 heart's worth of damage. I usually get hit there. Those are basically meant to be taken one at a time, so if there's 2, you know, you're kind of being left defenseless for the second one when it attacks. We can use these pea hats to get across the final gap here, because once we reach this platform, you can see this is the skipper's house. So we'll go ahead and head inside. We can get up on the roof if we want, but it turns out I think there's like a sand cicada there, and that's about it. So there's no real need to. Alright, inside this guy's house, of course, it's completely covered with sand. I mean, why wouldn't it be? I think, yeah, those are all... Oh, I thought that was all of them, but I guess not. Right, so once we take them out, we can start kind of clearing out this area. It turns out the only place you really need to worry about clearing out is right over here, because this is where the chest is. So we open it up. And as expected, we find the ancient sea chart. Nice. So no talking fish to feed this time. And of course, she's going to have us look around the room for whatever reason. I'm not sure why this is important, but I guess it's good too. A whole lot of pictures on the walls. It's pretty neat. That one in particular is really cool, actually. See, it's him with his entire crew on that ship. There was a lot of those little robots. Yep. So you can understand why he's been kind of distressed about his ship being stolen and everything, and now he's just kind of forced to live alone within 20 feet of that boat. So let's go ahead and sit down, we can recover our health, and Phi's going to talk to us, and for whatever reason feels the need to point out that she's detected a bug infestation. So I think what she's trying to tell me is that she wants to just quit this whole adventure thing and start an exterminator business. I'm not sure, but that's how I take it anyway, so I'll have to decline her offer. So now that we got what we came here for, we pretty much just have to find the quickest way down. Like I mentioned before, there are those zip lines you can take. However, there's also a platform over here, which I'm going to kind of step out on. It's really hard to see, but if you look just to the right of the top corner of that platform there, there's actually a little raised area with a chest. So that's what we're going to aim for. We can kind of skydive off here. I guess this would be more like base jumping, but whatever. And it's pretty easy to angle yourself over here. It's not too far away. So we can drop down, open the chest. And we get another silver rupee. Seems like we've been picking up a lot of those. Alright, so now we can just use a couple more claw shot targets to get back to the beginning. And of course, those enemies have respawned since we went in and out of the house. But no big deal, only need to take one of them out. Alright, and we're back to the beginning. So now that we have the sea chart, we can go back to the captain here. And he should read it for us and then tell us where we need to go next. So yeah, we got it. We can navigate properly. Yep, let's set sail. Okay, so of course the sea chart is now going to update our map. Much like it did the last time we were here, and we got the 1,000 years ago version. So the shipyard is going to be over here to the west. It's a little bit longer of a sail than it was before, but not too much, and you move pretty fast with this thing's boost. If we go to the shipyard, we might be able to find some clues about the location of the ship. It's worth a shot, I guess. I don't really know kind of the reasoning behind that too much. I mean, just because that's where it was built, it doesn't really tell us where it is now, you know, but... whatever, can't hurt to search for clues, so let's get over there. And yes, there is actually different music while sailing as well, which is pretty cool. It's nice, peaceful music. And this is also going to be the first run where we are going to encounter a few enemies, not too much. We're also going to encounter these kind of red barrels. See, there's one over there. We're going to encounter these red barrels that will explode if you run into them, so obviously don't. And it doesn't really matter too much if you run into rocks or anything, like it doesn't damage the ship, so no need to worry there. There were some bokoblins up on the rocks, but like I said before, I generally find it faster to just speed past everything. It's not like anything can hit you, so I don't know. I guess they give you the cannon if you just want to have some fun, but I usually don't bother. Alright, so the shipyard, like I said, this place is divided up into a bunch of different little areas. The shipyard's going to be our second one. Looks like we've got some tracks here, so I detect fun times ahead. Ooh, broken tracks too. Oh man, this is going to be awesome. Alright, so we've now arrived. This is the island where we used to make ships. And this is also the town where the workers lived. So that's kind of the main building over there to the left. But of course, it's sealed tight and we can't get in. There's no switches or anything to open it, so we'll have to go the long way around. Each location's linked to the others via a minecart track, so we're getting a little Donkey Kong influence here. So we should be able to get around to the other side using the minecarts. Okay, so we're going to the minecart station. Oh man, this should be fun. I love the minecarts. Yeah, this is actually a pretty cool section. You can go pretty quick if you do it right. And we will actually be back here later riding them again, but that's for a later time. For now, though, we have to use them to reach our destination. Got a couple of these Lizalfos along the way. You can fight them or run if you want. It doesn't really matter, but of course I'll fight them. You know, it would be the fun in just leaving them alone. Oh man, I tried to shield bash there. It looked like he put it up like momentarily, but I think it was a little too late. So yeah, with our upgraded sword, it actually only takes, I think, 5 slices now to take these guys down. So they can go down pretty quickly if you're good enough at fighting them. There we go. It's a pretty good strategy with the shield bashing there. Unfortunately, he fell off, so I don't get his tail, but oh well, whatever. Alright, so up the stairs we go, and this is the minecart station that was pointed out to us before. So, oh look, another Goron. Oh, these guys are all over the place. So this station was used by folks heading to the old mines. People still ride them all over the place. People, like, who else is here? What do you mean by people? So, probably supposed to tell you there's some safety information on the wall. So, yeah, we can also sit down and talk to this guy a little bit more personal. He's been alone for years. Again, kind of a sad existence. It's a lonely, desolate place out here. But he does get to ride the carts every day, so I guess there is a plus. I still don't know who he meant by people still ride these mine carts, but whatever. So, of course, there's some information on the wall. Press A to get on. Wow, thanks. So we have to lean with the Wii Remote. And if we're moving too fast, we can slow down. We're never going to slow down. We can also shake the Wii Remote upward to jump over objects. So I think that's enough of an introduction. Now let's go ahead and get going. I kind of like to make Link dance here a little bit. You basically just tilt the Wii Remote back and forth to lean. So if we turn to the left, you want to lean to the left. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you're leaning the wrong way, the minecart can actually fall off the tracks, but you have to be pretty bad at this for that to actually happen. So, and leaning into turns also gets you a nice speed boost, which is pretty cool. You can end up going pretty fast, especially on the second part of this track. The first one is basically just an introduction, a lot of long curves with a lot of pauses in between, so you don't really have to react too fast. But as you can see, if you get a lot of turns in a row, you can actually build up some pretty good speed. So it's pretty fun, actually. And like I said, that was just the first little section. It's just kind of a tutorial. So now we can get into the real bulk of things here. So, of course, take all these guys out. Yes, more jelly blobs. I think I picked up 2 there. Alright, so what are we up to? I'm just curious. 16. Nice. That's quite a lot of jelly blobs. Alright, so straight ahead is a zip line back down to the beginning, which we, of course, do not want to take. Unless you wanted to ride the minecart again, I guess. That would be one reason to do it. So now we can take this minecart to the construction bay, like I said before, and the second track is going to be a bit more complicated. We're actually going to have a couple obstacles along the way, and a couple turns you want to make sure not to miss. Alright, so first off, you can see there's kind of a loop here we're getting into. You want to head to the left around this turn and then head right at this fork in order to escape the loop. Otherwise, you just keep going around in circles. Obviously, turn right there to avoid the big giant X in the end of the track. And we're going to have a couple more of these along the way. They're generally pretty obvious. There's an example of wanting to jump over the obstacles. And that's a little bit finicky. Sometimes I get through it quickly. Sometimes I just like bounce a lot. I'm not sure. And obviously all these turns, you may have to do a little bit of trial and error here. And there's 2 different paths here. They're both about the same, but the right path I think has more curves. So if you're fast at reacting to it like this, you can get some pretty decent speed around them actually. And what's also kind of cool is that the music also speeds up and slows down with your speed. So if you're going really slow, it's a nice casual... Well, I don't know why I almost fell off there. I was leaning the right way. See, like, the second time was fast, but the first time I bounced. I don't know. I shook the Wii Remote both times, but whatever. Whew, so there we go, man. That got the blood pumping, didn't it? Man, that was some pretty fast minecarts. So yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. I really like that section. Too bad it's so short, actually. I would have liked a lot more, but I guess I can understand. You know, you don't want to make that into a big, full-fledged thing. Okay, so we are in the shipyard. We've got 3 places to rest. I guess you could maybe tell something about your personality depending on which one you picked. I don't know, maybe that's some sort of test somebody could do. But just a little psychological thing, I guess. But anyway, now that we've reached the main part of the shipyard, obviously this door is going to lead us in to the main building. But before we do that, I think we're going to leave off right here. So next time we'll enter into the shipyard, see if we can find some clues about the whereabouts of this ship that houses the flames. So until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.